Sagittarius, it's time for your mid-month check-in. How you doing? My name is Finn, and this is Magic 7 Tarot. When we last left one another, we did a reading that had at your new moon a couple of weeks ago, and there was a series of ups and downs indicated, and a path through, but variable. So how are things progressing so far? Let me know. Today it's your lunar full moon, and so that's when you're obviously lunar, your personal full moon. So that's the moon is in Gemini, and so that's opposed to Sagittarius. So this is halfway through this cycle, and I thought it's a great time to check in with you, pull a few cards, and see what we come up with. So I have pulled three cards: a Brotherhood of Light Tarot card for the energy, a Wild Unknown archetype card for archetype, and a bit of inspiration from the Sacred Destiny Oracle card. Okay, I haven't looked at them, so let's have a look. Okay, so the energy you've got present here is the Six of Swords. Now, the Six of Swords represents hard work. It's changes. It's very earthy and practical. Struggle, and the sort of way to interpret this is to not dissipate your energies. In other words, keeping focused on your plan. That's the plan. Okay. The temptation here is to get distracted or sidetracked, and instead of focus, we dissipate our energies on many other tasks that aren't as relevant to what you're trying to achieve. Scattered, delays, all of those things. It suggests any progress that you're going to make is through slow and steady effort. Okay. This is the Capricorn decadent of Taurus, so very earthy, and because it's Capricorn, it's ruled by Saturn, practical, and I mean, Taurus and Capricorn are not what you would call speedy signs. They're not a fire sign like you are, right? So this energy might feel a bit sluggish to you, okay? And as a result, there's a temptation. Six is temptation too. There's a temptation to perhaps ignore the details and, kind of skip ahead to the ending, right? Don't do that, okay? This is saying to you, you have this moment here where there are distractions, there's indecision, there's struggle, scattered energies, delays. Okay, that's just what's going on right now. So breathe through it, stick with your plan, and go a little bit at a time. That's the best advice I can give you. It's not an easy card, okay, but relative to your reading last time, and if you didn't have a chance to check that out, I'll link to it at the end of this video. But it was variable for you, some ups and downs. And this is not inherently negative card. It's more of like the workaday practical stuff. Of course, Mercury is retrograde still, and delays are inherent in that. So, whenever I look at this card, I always think it looks like a lot of work. The swords always make me feel like it's work, effort. Be decisive. It's also saying, go back to where you were a couple of weeks ago and you had a vision about what you wanted to accomplish, and stick with that vision. Don't get sidetracked. Okay, let's see what else we pull here that gives you some more detail on that. Okay, the archetype is the father. This is a primary archetype. Okay, let's have a look at that. The first thing that popped into my head is to listen. I am a father, okay, and I spend most of my time in cards like this, right? Shepherding other people's lists, okay, making sure your socks match your pants. That's kind of practical stuff, okay? So, this could be children, right? That you're managing children. But, I kind of interpret this as the energy that you're working through. Same thing, as above, so below is the Hermetic adage, right? In other words, you have this card, and I pulled this card for all Sagittarians. Okay, so everybody has a different placement of Venus, Capricorn, Saturn, Taurus, all of these planets. Okay, all of these influences that are inherent. So everybody's going to have a different experience of it. Um, but in a sense, sticking to your path is a way that you parent yourself. Let's see what the father says here. Alongside the mother, the father resides in the central axis of the archetypal family. The father embodies both light and dark aspects of the masculine. I appreciate you see the both dark and the light, right? Thus, he is infinitely dynamic and complex. His energy is strong and regal, embodying such virtues as honesty, wisdom, and loyalty. Yet, ironically and simultaneously, the father's often absent, literally or emotionally. You could definitely check out with energy like this. I mean, it's not going to feel fun right now. It's going to feel like effort, right? Struggle, right? Don't check out. Stay in it, right? Through absence or action, the father eventually reveals that he is neither a king nor a god, but a human being with many flaws and wounds. He's both the guardian and the one who leaves us to the wolves. Here yet gone. The champion and the failure. The father can never resolve or escape this duality. It is inherent in the archetype itself. Witnessing the father's limitations allows the child to grow beyond the family and into the world. So supportive, strategic, regal, kind, and authoritarian, regal, kind, authority, disappointing. One image is Saturn devouring his sons, right? So this is Saturn. So don't let the struggle devour your dreams. Okay? Stick with it. Parent yourself through this situation. Pardon me. Okay, let's pull a wild Sacred Destiny card and see what we get. Potential. I love that. I mean, this isn't your moment, Sagittarius. That's what it feels like to me. This is like the struggle before the reveal, the hard work that goes into making something happen. Pardon me. Okay, potential. This card appears when you're ready to activate your potential and step into your strength. This is the time to activate those gifts that you've had on the back burner in your life. This feels like the back burner. So if I'm giving you some inspiration, is the moment to step forward is about to occur. It's not this moment, okay? You need to parent yourself and stick to the plan. Stick to the plan, Sag, okay? In your life, you have incredible untapped potential. This is the time to allow it to flow. An inner wellspring of power is emerging, definitely emerging. You have a profound spiritual power that is deep within you. Do not doubt your great authority and capabilities. A dormant volcano might indicate that you have uncomfortable emotions that you're repressing or keeping inside, thus creating emotional stress and inner pressure. A bit of that, right? It can also mean you're on the verge of a great expansion of energy and life force. Definitely. I love that. So to me, this is where it's coming, right? This great reveal, this great moment where you burst forth onto the scene. And to get there, slow and steady wins the race. This card also has a spiritual significance of mastery. When you master yourself, you're ready to unleash your potential, right? Mastering yourself is keeping patient, right? During the difficult times or the boring jobs, right? If you ever run a business, you think, I have this great idea for a business, and you get all expansive about it. And you realize, like, most of running a business or owning a business is like all these details that you got to take care of. And the buck stops with you. And that's kind of how it feels to me here, is like the buck stops with you. Like, you've got to take care of this. This is your vision, it's your life. And, listen, everybody's different. And it's a general reading. So, there could be other people around here. I mean, this is literally could be you parenting people, right? And if you're female, you're taking on the male role, perhaps. Okay, and a lot of this is going to be dependent on how you were parented. Was your father kind or and gentle, or intense and had high expectations? So you have to find the darkness here and the light, right? What part of the father do you need to make it through the struggle? In other words, you know, uh, struggling against the struggle is just going to make the struggle more difficult. So if you think of the struggle as working towards mastery, and mastery working towards unleashing your potential, you could get above it. The one great thing about there's many great things about Sag. One great thing about Sagittarius is they can be philosophical. In other words, they could say, all of these struggles are on the way towards this achievement that, I'm building my character, I'm building my experience, I'm building my knowledge base to go to the next place. And if you can get your head around that, I mean, this is what parents do, right? When you're explaining to your teenage son, that studying every day isn't work is if you leave it to the last minute and you have to study everything at once, right? Do a little bit every day, and you're winning, right? Slow and steady, right? You're going to win. Sag, I think that you're on the verge. I'm looking forward to a couple weeks from now. So stay with it. That's my big advice here. Stay with it. You had a vision about what you want to achieve, had some ups and downs. You continue to have those. But if you find your center, right, and you decide, I'm going to shepherd myself through this crisis or this struggle, you're building mastery in order to unleash something pretty amazing into the world. Okay, Sag, I love you so much. Listen, I hope everything's okay. And I'll catch you in a couple weeks. Peace.